Welcome to English Lessons with Lakshmi. Today let's do some grammar. And before we go on to grammar lessons, let me tell something that I always tell my students in the class. When we start learning grammar, the first thing that we have to learn is the correct spelling of grammar, because I often see the word printed mistakenly in textbooks and in hoardings and in many such places. So the first lesson in grammar is the spelling of grammar, which is G-R-A-M-M-A-R and not E-R. Okay, now since that's done, let's go on to the first topic in the grammar series, which is parts of speech. In any language, a sentence is made up of words. Various words are strung together to make a sentence. In English, we have many, you have nouns, you have verbs, you have prepositions. All these come together to form a meaningful sentence. Now let me give you an example of one such sentence. Ria looks beautiful in her new dress. Now in this particular sentence, if we try to split it into its various parts, Ria is a noun, looks is a verb, beautiful is an adjective, in a preposition, her a pronoun, new again an adjective, and dress once again a noun. So these various parts of the sentence which come together, the various constituents of a sentence which come together to make a meaningful sentence are called parts of speech. And in English grammar, we have 8 parts of speech. Let me just give you a list first. We have the noun, we have the pronoun, the adjective, verb, adverb, conjunction, preposition and interjection. Now let's look at them one by one. The first one is the noun. So what is a noun? A noun is a naming word. It is usually the name of a person, a place, a thing, an object or an animal. So this is what you would call a noun. And in nouns, we have 4 categories, or I can even say 5 categories. Let me just mention them now, because I will be doing a full session on nouns at a later time. And so the different types of nouns, you have the common noun, the proper noun, the abstract noun, concrete noun, collective noun and even compound nouns. So that is about the noun for now. Before we move on to pronouns, let's just look quickly at examples of each one of these nouns. Now what is, when we look at a common noun? A common noun is a noun that addresses a category, applies to a whole category of things. Like for example, pen, pencil, cat, dog, man, woman, all these are common nouns. Proper nouns on the other hand are names of particular persons or places. Like for example, Harish, Mumbai, New Delhi, Kerala, all these are proper nouns. And then we go on to the next one, that is abstract and concrete nouns. Concrete nouns are those that can be perceived with our 5 senses, any of our 5 senses, which you can touch, you can feel, you can see, you can smell or taste. So almost all, let's give some examples of concrete nouns. A stone, tree, light, fragrance, all these. And abstract nouns on the other hand are those that cannot be touched or cannot be seen. They are usually ideas, concepts, feelings like courage, happiness, cleanliness, honesty. All these are abstract nouns, because though you cannot see them, you know they exist. And then we have collective nouns. Now collective nouns are nouns which, even when they are singular, contain more than one. Like for example, when I say a bunch of grapes, even in a single bunch there are many grapes or many components. So such words are called collective nouns. They should not be confused for the plural of nouns. Now let me give you more examples of collective nouns. Group is a collective noun. Crew is a collective noun. Herd, herd of cattle, herd is a collective noun. Cackle, a cackle of geese. So cackle again is a collective noun. So those are collective nouns. And then coming to compound nouns. Compound nouns are ones where it's a combination of words, sometimes a noun and a noun, or sometimes an adjective and a noun, like you have bus stop, mother-in-law, checkpoint. So such words where two words come together. So these are called two nouns come together, or sometimes, as I told you, it's an adjective plus a noun. So these are called compound nouns. So that much about nouns for now. And then we go on to the next one, the pronoun. The pronoun is a word, as you can understand from the word itself. It stands instead of a noun. Like for example, instead of using the word, the name, instead of using Lakshmi, I can say she, I can say her. So all those are pronouns. I is a pronoun, he is a pronoun, it is a pronoun. So all those are pronouns. Pronouns too, there are many categories which we are not mentioning now. And then we have the adjective. I put these three together because they all, they belong to each other in some sense or the other. Now the adjective always qualifies a noun, in the sense it tells you more about the noun. When in the sentence that I had mentioned earlier, when I say that Ria looks beautiful in her new dress, so there new, the word new, which is an adjective, actually qualifies the noun dress. It is about, it refers to the noun dress. Same way in that sentence beautiful, the adjective beautiful actually qualifies the noun Ria. So that is the adjective. Now let's go on to the verb. A verb is a doing word because it usually involves some kind of action. But then all verbs do not have to be verbs of action. Jump, run, eat, sing, all these are verbs. So are verbs like think, have, be, these are verbs too. So, and again verbs too have many categories like dynamic verbs and stative verbs. You have transitive and intransitive, regular and irregular, strong and weak. So all these can go into another session. Now after the verb, we have the adverb. An adverb qualifies the verb, just as an adjective qualifies or tells us more about a noun. Similarly, an adverb, again the clue is there right in the word itself. So an adverb tells us more about the verb. It has other functions too, which I will speak about, but primarily an adverb adds more or qualifies the verb. For example, when I say he ran, and if I add the adverb he ran fast, so the adverb fast actually qualifies or tells us more about ran. How did he run? He ran fast. She sings sweetly. So how does she sing? She sings sweetly. So the word sweetly, it actually qualifies the verb sings. Okay, so that is an adverb. And the adverb can also qualify another adverb. That is the second function of an adverb. It can qualify another adverb. If I say he ran very fast. Now fast, we already know, is an adverb. And so when I add very to it, what does it qualify? It tells us how fast did he run. So he ran very fast. Okay, so very is an adverb that qualifies the earlier adverb. And again, the third function of an adverb can also qualify an adjective. When I say that she is extremely clever, there clever itself is it's an adjective, and so I use the word extremely to qualify the adjective clever, and so that's the third function of an adverb. It can qualify another adverb. So that is what you need to know now about the adverb. After these, now we have covered 5 of our parts of speech. Let's go on to the preposition. Now again, the clue for the preposition lies in the word itself. It talks about positions. Often it is difficult to give easy definition, an all-encompassing definition for a preposition. But just for the sake of understanding it for now, let's say that a preposition is a word that tells us about the positional relationship between two nouns in a sentence or pronouns. Like for example, when I say the camera is in front of me, it tells us the relation, the positional relation between me and the camera. Or when I say the book is on the table, it shows the positional relation between the book and the table. The book is on the table. So we have any number of prepositions, including on, in, outside, inside, up, down, any number. The list can go on. Now the next one, the 7th one is the conjunction. Conjunction. There again you find the clue in the word itself. As the word says, it is a junction, and you know, a junction is a meeting place of two things, or maybe 4 roads. A junction is a place where roads meet, 4 roads meet. So here the conjunction does the function of joining things. Sometimes it joins 2 words, sometimes it joins 2 phrases, sometimes it can join 2 sentences. So that's what a conjunction does. For example, and is a conjunction. When I say bread and butter, it joins 2 nouns together. When I say I prefer tea, but give me some coffee now. So there it kind of brings together 2 sentences. So conjunctions are words that join words, phrases or sentences. In conjunctions too, we have subordinating conjunctions and coordinating conjunctions. And then the last one is interjection. Interjection, these are the words that are a sudden expression of strong emotions or feelings like sorrow or joy or surprise. Like for example, words like oh or wow, ouch, all these, or hooray when you win a match. All these are interjections which express sudden emotion. So now we have covered all the 8 parts of speech. Let's go through them once again. Noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction and interjection. So these are the basic building blocks of a sentence, and it is always helpful to know when you use a sentence, especially for beginners. When you use a sentence, when you make a sentence, it's always helpful to know what part of speech each of your word is, which it belongs to. So in later videos, I will attempt to elaborate on the topics on the parts of speech which need more detailed explanation. Now let us try out a simple exercise in order to revise the parts of speech that we studied just now. The first one, clean, is a noun, is it? No, it is not. Then what is clean? Clean, some of you might say that it is an adjective, and some of you might say that it is a verb. It is both actually. So clean, when you say that I am going to clean the room, it is a verb. When I say give me a clean cloth, it is an adjective. So the word clean can function both as a verb and as an adjective. Then the word face, that again can be categorized in 2 groups. Face, when you talk about the face of a person, it is a noun. This face here with the eyes and nose and all these parts, it is the noun. And when I say I am ready to face anything, there it is the verb. Happiness is a noun, and what sort of a noun is happiness? It is an abstract noun. Ring again can be both a noun when you just talk about the ornament that you wear on your finger, or when a round, something that is ring shaped, it is a ring, there it is a noun. And when you say ringing the bell, it becomes the verb. Then the word brave is definitely an adjective. Rahul is a proper noun. Fleet, a collective noun, because in a single fleet you have a number of people. You have the word intelligence, which again is an abstract noun. Gang is a collective noun. Loudly is an adverb. She spoke loudly. Don't shout loudly. Okay. Crown, it can be both a noun and a verb. When you say the crown that a king wears on his head, or this part of your head which is called the crown, there it becomes a noun. And when he say that he was crowned as the king, there it becomes a verb. So you can see how sometimes the same word can fall under different categories. It can be a word can be a noun or a verb or an adjective at the same time too. So please try out more such simple exercises so that you would become thorough with this categorization.